we are going to discuss the importance of hydration and electrolyte loading in the life of a marathoner. Can you believe that till 1960, marathoners were asked to refrain from drinking water or consuming anything during an event? It was considered to be a question of your determination and willpower. However, things started to change somewhere around 1965. That is when the athletes and the scientists realized that fatigue was the result of a combination of depleting glycogen stores, dehydration and loss of electrolytes. I am sure if you are a marathoner, you know that all of us tend to sweat a lot during our practice. Sweat would mean loss of water and loss of electrolytes, which will leave you exhausted and fatigued and slow you down. So how do you hydrate yourself and load yourself with enough electrolytes, especially electrolytes such as sodium, potassium, chloride, magnesium before the race? Let's have a quick look at that. How do you really calculate your water requirement or your hydration need? And the most simplest way to do that is check your weight in minimal clothing before you start your run, consume stipulated amounts of water, check your weight in minimal clothing again when you come back after your run. So for example, if you are a 70 kilo guy and you drink 500 ml of water during your run, you are around 70.5 kilos. If you weigh around 68.5 after the run, it means that you've lost around 2 kilos of weight, which is equivalent to a water loss of 2 liters. Understanding all of this before the race day is very important so that you can start preparing for the same. Honestly, hydration and electrolyte loading has become an integral part of training for your marathon nowadays. Is all of this really so important? And the obvious answer to this question is a big yes, because even a slight drop in your levels of hydration, some drop as less as 5%, will have an adverse impact on your performance by around 30%. That is how important hydration and electrolyte loading are in a marathoner's life. That is why we say electrolyte loading and hydration should not begin on the morning of the run. It ideally has to begin at least 48 hours or 2 days before the marathon. There are multiple factors which will have an impact on your need to hydrate and electrolyte load, such as the temperature around you, the levels of humidity, how much do you sweat as a person. So understanding all of this before the race day is very crucial. Remember that drink when you're thirsty rule is not applicable for marathoners. In fact, the thumb rule is to consume around 200 ml of water with electrolytes for every 3 hours 2 days before the event, which is around 1.6 liters every day before the race day. Whether you need to hydrate for a day or two depends really on your distance that you plan to run and the amount of sweat that you experience. So stay hydrated, stay electrolyte loaded and stay strong and have a good run.